from fear to skill, from doubt to confidence. People first, future forward. Copilot beside us, impact error, guiding the way. This is not man versus machine. This is people empowered by AI.
There you go. Good icebreaker, isn't it? How are you all? How's
I
everyone
love it.
doing?
Love it, Zafar. Really good.
Hey, thanks, Abir. So I think, yeah, just as the anthem said, right? People first. And that's why we are all here with all the changes, everything trending and things moving so fast. This is the time for us to work together, understand, and this community is basically built to help one another and to make education and training affordable. And we've got Samir today, Samir Dawoodi, who's connecting as our trainer for today's session. He is the founder of Logisam. Logisam is a solution-based organization helping organizations to be able to utilize the licenses that they have purchased optimally and making life easier. So today, he's going to be talking about how he works with agents and how they integrate it with Copilot Studio and Power Platform as well. Um, Please do interact, ask any questions. If you don't understand, just drop a note on the chat as well, or you can raise your hands and unmute yourself to ask questions. Let's make it as interactive as possible. No one's a pro here. Everyone's here to learn. And if you do have any expertise around it and you have you have utilized the technology in a different manner or some use cases, do tell it out because the rest would be loving to learn on what. Because I've seen, I've checked the registration as well. We've got folks from the education sector, we've got folks from the corporate sector, from the government, from the and students as well. So we're all here to learn, and I wish you all the best. And Samir, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session today. Let me start by sharing my screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. 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 Okay. Just gonna start the timer. I need the other way around. Okay. Swap this place. There we go. Right. So today we'll be looking at how we can get started with Microsoft Copilot Studio. The presentation today will be split into two parts. So there will be a theory part where we talk about the foundation, the basics, the things that we need to know about agents, about Copilot Studio, and really the basics that you need to get to have a good grip of. And then we're going to spend a good amount of time looking at real case scenarios, examples of how we have implemented those tools and agents for our clients and in real examples. My name is Samir Dawoodi. I'm a Microsoft MVP specializing in business applications, precisely on Power Apps. I'm the founder of Power Apps Template and Logisam Limited. Logisam Limited has been founded around 2017. We've been working with different clients, mainly in the UK, building bespoke solutions on Power Platform, SharePoint, M365, and lately focusing a lot on AI and Copilot. I have over 25 certifications, exclusively Microsoft certifications, and 16 years of experience with Microsoft technology stack. I tend to blog regularly. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not doing it as much as I expected. especially lately. But I have my personal blog where I post about anything related to technology. So Power Platform, Copilot, SharePoint, and so on. And I think I'm quite active on LinkedIn. So if you have any question after this session, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would love to help you and assist. Right. So as I said, the session today will be a big part of it will be demo at the end, but we're gonna cover the basics. What is an agent? Different use cases of when you should be using agent, the blueprint or the foundation of building AI agents. We're gonna talk about the core component of agents, and then we're gonna look at how we can create agents. There are different ways of creating agents, so we're gonna cover the different aspects or different ways of doing that. Zafar, I'm not checking the chat, but if there is any question,
Sure.
just jump in.
I'm
Yeah.
moderating it. No worries.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And finally, we're gonna cover different demos, different real life use cases where we have implemented Copilot agents for our clients in different industries. And we will wrap up the session with Q&A. I think the very basic or the first slide will be about what is an agent. So we hear agent everywhere, we hear Copilot everywhere. Everybody's talking about Copilot and agents, but basically what an agent is a conversational system that interacts with the user via a chat interface. Before having Copilot agents and all this set of technology and tools that we are talking about today, prior to this, it was known as Power Virtual Agent, where it was more robotic way of interacting with an agent. So prior to Copilot Studio and Copilot Agent, we were using, I'm sure you've seen this before, where you open the chat window and you get like different topics, select one of these, and then it's going to give you different subtopics to select from. But the beauty of agents nowadays is that an agent is a natural conversational system where you can talk in a natural language. You don't have to sound like a robotic. You can ask questions, you can get help. The idea is that you interact with an agent via a chat interface. You talk in a natural and human way, and it uses some knowledge, some content, some knowledge source behind the scene to help and respond to the users. So the main advantages of using AI agents, first, is that you have lower support demand. Once you create your agent, for example, you have frequently asked question. Let's say IT help desk, I have a list of frequently asked questions. They can expose an agent which help answering the users' questions. And this agent is always available 24/7. You don't need to worry about that, and people can get help at any time. Running this agent doesn't cost much, and it gives good user experience to your users. Agents can also integrate with different systems. So if you have internal systems like CRM or your booking system or the purchase order system, you can have an agent where users can check, let's say, what's the status of my order, and you provide the purchase order number. The agent is going to connect to the CRM system and pull the information about that, or the purchase order system, and get the latest status. So very handy, very good user experience. You can also take the agent to the next level. Instead of just question and answer or asking question and getting information, you can start automating tasks with agents. So, for example, I want to have an agent which helps me book my travel. For that, I need hotel booking, flight ticket booking, and maybe transport between hotel terminals and these kind of things. So you start automating tasks with agents, considering that the different systems that you are using have publicly available endpoint, i.e. An API. Right? You can have manage my meeting schedule, case assignment, email dispatch, all these small tasks you can start automating and really see the benefit of using agents. Probably a term that you've heard in different posts, different presentations, or maybe read in different posts is generative AI. Basically, when you look at generative AI is a way of generating or producing content based on other data. So let's say you have your HR SharePoint site where you have a lot of policies and procedures, and you start generating content, generating response based on that knowledge, right? You ground the agent to certain data source, and you can allow the agent to answer based on the information found in certain place. So this is really at a high level, right? If you look at Probably if you look at this presentation, it gives or represents a summary of what I have said. So the power of AI agent reduces support and inquiry volume, specifically for repetitive queries. So for example, IT service desk in any organization receive a lot of tickets, and the big majority of those tickets are repetitive. Things like, how can I reset my password? Or I want to configure Teams on my mobile phone. And they spend a lot of time answering the same question again and again. So if you can offset all these frequent asked questions to a chatbot, you can reduce the time your support team are spending in answering those tasks and actually improve their productivity by allowing them to focus on the things that matter, right? Again, automating complex tasks. Obviously, when an agent cannot do everything, when an agent is stuck or doesn't have the information or cannot perform certain action, we can always escalate from the agent to a human, and we're going to show this in the demo at the end. The beauty of building an agent is that Microsoft, especially when you talk about Microsoft Copilot Studio, is that it has been simplified to a point where it's almost a drag and drop, right? You don't need any coding experience, you don't need any coding knowledge. Anybody can create an agent in a matter of minutes, literally. And we're going to see that in the Create Agent demo. Deploying agents, we work in a connected ecosystem, and I'm sure within your organization you have multiple systems which talk to each other. When it comes to deploying an agent, it's really simple. Few clicks and you can deploy your agent to Teams, to SharePoint, embed it in your public website. And the user experience and the user interface for the builders who are creating those agents has been very, very simplified and made very, very simple. So you will see in the demo, we're going to create an agent from defining what the agent does to providing the knowledge to the agent all the way to the deploying the agent, that the process itself doesn't require any line of code, right? We'll see that in more details. And obviously, you can use agent for different use cases. I keep referring to HR and IT because these are the things that probably the first examples of where you can think about using Copilot agents. But there are so many places and the user scenarios where you can actually implement Copilot agents, and you're going to see some use cases here. So if you look at few use cases here by industry, for example, if you look at travel and transport, we can have an agent which manages your booking. You can ask the agent to change your trip dates, create new booking for you, and so on. You can have an agent for lead generation, for professional services. Maybe our company needs to create quotes, high volume of quotes, and it's always the same template, same content. Maybe we just change the name of the customer and the amount and so on. We can use a Copilot agent to speed up the process. Governments are known to governments and banks are known for exposing chatbots and agents in their public website due to the high volume of calls and tickets they're getting. So in the UK, they have recently launched the gov.uk AI chatbot, which actually use their website, gov.uk, as a knowledge base. That's the only source they use. And it helps guiding the user to the right page and the right place where they can get help and assistance. Retail, healthcare. So there are different examples where you can use a Copilot agent. If you look at education, for example, a school can have its own AI chatbot, Copilot chatbot, with different sections or different topics. For example, how to get financial aid, how can I register for summer camp, these kind of things. And obviously, you can define the knowledge source behind it and so on. Now, if you look at departments instead of industry, customer service is probably the departments where they get most of the queries, and a lot of those queries are repetitive. So things like requests for a refund, change of dates, change of details, these kind of things. So all these can be automated with AI agents. Finance, they are a bit reluctant to take the jump. I mean, we've worked with different clients, and whenever we talk about with finance, due to the nature of the data they are manipulating and dealing with, they are usually the last to take the jump, right? But if they want to, maybe within a company, you can have finance chatbot, which can be used by users to get, let's say, payroll information, or I want to submit my expenses claim, and so on. HR, usually very simple to get started with AI agents. the simplest or the first step would be to use frequently asked question or HR policies and procedures for building their first agent. The second type of agent they use is usually things like I want to book some leave requests or absence, or I want to make a claim against my manager, for example, or something like that. So you can automate those things. IT as well, with the IT help desk chatbots. There are a variety of them. We're going to see a few examples today, and so on. Now, it may be a little bit overwhelming with everything you can do and the possibilities that you have with Copilot agent or AI agent in general, let's say. But we need to focus on certain things. So if you look at a high level of what the blueprint for building AI agent is, first we need to, on the left side, you have three sections. First one is define a clear use case. Let's not try to build an agent which does everything. If you want to implement a complex process or automation which requires different players, different agents, I would say let's create multiple small agents, and agents can talk to each other. They can handle sessions, and they can handle conversation and hand over to other agents. So instead of creating one agent which does everything, let's focus on one specific use case. For example, HR, we want an agent which answers the employees' questions based on policies and procedures. That's it. Let's not go over that. If the agent is not able to answer this, maybe we have another agent which allows you to submit a ticket, right? So the user asks question, the first agent check the policies and procedure. Oh, I don't have any information about that. How about you create a ticket? Now there is another agent which guides you through creating a ticket. Maybe there will be a third agent for that, but define a clear use case, okay? Within any organization, most of the time you're going to be using your company data. You are not allowing the agents to go to the public domain or the web and get information from there. So it's all about your data quality. The agent will not make any response from the public domain. So if you're talking about internal data, most of the time it's SharePoint, it's your OneDrive data, it's your Teams data, your emails, and so on. So data quality is very important. We need to make sure that we are feeding the agent the right data and making sure that the data is in the right check, right? Optimizing the user experience. Now, this is very important. As I said at the very beginning, if you've done if you've worked with agents before Copilot, before the era of Copilot, we were talking about power virtual agents, where the user experience was more robotic. So you create different topics. The agent will start by saying, "Hi, I am this bot, and I can help you with doing this. Please choose one of the topics. For example, I want to submit a leave request or check how many days I have." So I had predefined options. You select one, and then the agent will say, "Okay, thank you, I got this," and now select a subcategory. So the interaction with the agent was very robotic. Okay. Now with the large language model and the way Copilot agents are have been, I would say, Copilot agents are the evolution of Power Virtual agents. Now you have different ways of interacting with your agent. You can use speech for people with disabilities instead of typing your queries, but you can talk to your agent in a natural language, right? Think about the user experience, especially when the agent is not able to answer the question. What will happen in that way? So these are the main three elements you need to worry about when you are building an AI agent. Now, for the IT admin and the security guys behind the scene, there are other things that they need to worry about. On the right side, you see that we need to think about security and compliance. By connecting my agent to a SharePoint site or to my Teams channel, is there any risk there? Am I exposing any data there? What is the level of access, and so on? Also, if the agents are advanced and they are connected to different organization systems, let's say the ERP and the CRM and the HR system, how is the integration working? Are we using a service account or service principal, or we are using the logged in user credential? How is that all monitored? And obviously, with agents, similar to any software development project, it's all about testing and feedback and iterating. You won't get it right from the first version, but start small, start with a very simple use case, and then build up on top of that. Now, if we focus on agents and we start thinking about what's happening within agent. So agent is composed of a few things. The four more important ones are, you have the prompts and the events. This is the These are the topics or the information that start the conversation, right? Zafar, you have your hands up.
Yep. I just wanted to check. Any questions, people? Anyone has any questions? So Samir, just a quick one, right? Now, when we look at these agents on the one on the left, the user and data foundation. So this
Yep.
is where, so basically an agent is kind of like your digital twin,
Yes,
right?
for
So
specific tasks.
we've been complaining that we don't have enough time, right? We wish we had 48 hours in 24 hours because we've got so much to do. So how do we get these things done? So
Yes,
today, the world's been brought, right? Fast forward today, we've actually, there's technology for us to build what we could basically do. So we interpret what we want into a kind of a digital twin or an agent who does it on behalf of us.
that's right.
So,
Yes,
so basically, to do that, what we need to do is define use case clarity, which means what are the tasks that we want to do? We want the agent to do for us, right? And in order for that to work out well, you need proper information. So data is basically you need to communicate, right? Just like how if you hire someone new into your organization, you need to give them a proper plan, a training plan, right? This is how you're going to be working. This is what your job role or description is. So similarly, you give the agent that. And then you basically look at how the agent responds back to you through experience. Is that correct of me understanding it,
that
Samir?
that's a good way of putting this. So when we define the use case, I
Hmm.
mean, um, to be honest with you, I'm not 200% on board with the idea of digital twin, but you can
Hmm.
have like an assistant or a mini version of
Assistant.
you, because obviously as
Correct.
a humans we can do a lot. But there are certain things that when you look at them, you see that you're spending a lot of time in things that can
Hmm.
be automated. So the examples I've given earlier, HR or IT receiving the same tickets again and again and again, and I'm sure they have put somewhere in on their intranet, this is how to do those things. But some of the employees are lazy enough, they just log in and send email. I want to reset my password. I'm sure it's documented somewhere. But for an IT person to sit and take like 10, 15 minutes to answer this request many times a week or a day, it's using a lot of the employee time and resources. So we define a clear use case. What I'm trying to say here is that an agent needs to be focusing on doing one simple task, right? Don't
Absolutely.
overcomplicate it. Let's have many small agents which do certain specific tasks well. Now, the agent will not create information or make up things from their mind. You need to feed them good data, good quality data. So now here we're talking about company data. When we start saying this agent will use the HR site or the HR SharePoint site as knowledge base to answer the information, we need to make sure that site is in good shape. You don't have the same policy in multiple versions. I've seen some organizations where they have the live document library and they have the archive document library. And for
Hmm.
example, for dress code policy, they have the 2026 one and they have the 2025, 2024. It's the same policy existing under different name in the same site. Now you're confusing the agent. Which one should I use? Which one is the latest? I mean, with the year, probably it's obvious, but you have V1, V2, V3. These are all documents with the kind of different information, all talking about the same topic. This is
Hmm.
when we talk about data quality, right?
Yeah, that was clear, clear. Thanks, Samir.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Any question? Any clarity needed? All good? Three,
Just
two,
jump in if
one.
you have any question.
Yes, let's
Great.
go. Thanks.
That's good. That's good. So when we start looking at what's happening within agent, we have the prompts, and these are the keywords or the start of certain conversation. So you start by saying, "Hi, I want to book my leave request." This is the prompt. Okay. Within that, you have the conversational or the conversation flow, where the conversation will be taken to a certain flow, and based on certain variables or information you've given, the agent will decide to answer in a certain way. Obviously, the key bit here is a knowledge base. Where does the agent get the information from to answer those prompts, right? And if you want to take the agent to the next level, you have actions and integration. That's where you create tools for your agent to be able to, for example, send emails or submit a ticket or add a line in a SharePoint list or do it can do any action or task, considering that the system that you're trying to integrate with has an available API. Most of those connections happen via APIs and Power Automate. I don't know if you're going to have time to cover that or not, but we'll try to do that. This is what I just said earlier. So prompt and intent, knowledge base, the conversation flow, and actions and integration. Action and integration is probably a more advanced topic. Right. So how do we get started with all this? Sounds exciting. We want to create our first agent. Let's say you have your idea, you have something in your organization that you want to start automating, and you know that it's going to have a good ROI. So it's going to save you time or speed up certain process. So create an agent. Before we jump into Copilot Studio and start creating the agent, let's cover what a Power Platform environment is. So within Microsoft 365 Power Platform, you have environments, and environments are sandbox containers where you can have your apps, your flows, your Copilot agents, your solutions, all running within one place, right? Environments can have different URLs and can be used for different purposes. So if you are using Power Platform in your organization or you have business premium license, you should have Power Platform. And by default, if you have never used Power Platform, you have the default environment created, right? So if you're using M365, you should have Power Platform default environment created. Now, you can create additional environments. When it comes to creating new environments, certain organizations decide to split the environments by department. Let's say we have the HR environment, we have the finance, we have the execs environment. Other organizations may decide to split the environments by geolocation or by purpose. Maybe we have dev, UAT, and prod, and then we put all the solutions in the same environment. For this, there is no right or wrong. It's really up to you, and you can create an environment as you want. You don't have to create environment, but it's the best practice to create your custom environments. You can still build and work in the default environment or the person environment, absolutely fine. But ideally, if you are creating something for your company, let's think about how we create different environment, how we split dev from UAT, from prod, and so on. To create environments, you need to have Power Platform admin access. So first, we need to go to the Power Platform Admin Center. On the left side, this screenshot is outdated. The navigation has slightly changed. As you may know, Microsoft loves to change the UI and where everything is, but we're going to see it in the live demo. Click New Environment, and then you have this small form, right? So the name of the environment, region is very important. This is where all your data, all your artifacts, all your tables, apps, everything will be stored. You have to be careful with this. This is one option that you cannot change after you create the environment. So if you say, I want to create an environment in the US, it is that. You can't migrate it, you can't move it somewhere else, right? Unless you create a new environment and you start migrating between the environments. There are different types of environments. You have developer environment, sandbox, and production. I would suggest start with developer environment. That's free, and you can do whatever you want with it. Production, you may start incurring some cost with that based on the consumption. If you are planning to build apps and flows and you need Dataverse, you can create add a Dataverse store. But the form is very simple. You can start with a developer free environment, and you can start creating your artifact and objects easily. Now, I think before jumping here, right, so to create our first agent, we need to navigate to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. You can have a free trial version, 30 days, and you can renew that. Probably I shouldn't be saying this, but you can renew it as for as long as you want. No problem with that. This is the environment where you'll be landing, or the page where you'll be landing when you navigate to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. First thing you need to notice is that you need to make sure that you are in the right environment, okay? If you want to use the one environment or the default one, you can ignore this. Next is that you have this is a bit funny. This is where you can describe the agent that you want to create, and another agent will create it for you, right? So let's say I want to create an agent which helps me organize my meetings. Now, AI will trigger in the background and it will draft an agent for you. These are your recent Copilot agents that you've been working on. You can explore the existing agent. There are some templates that you can use if you want to start from a template. I want a website Q&A that I'm going to be embedded in my public website. I can use one of those. There are certain things that we need to be familiar with when it comes to Copilot Studio, certain terminology that we can cover quickly. So topics are, I think they're obvious, but you can group or organize a certain conversation by topic. So a topic is a subset of the conversation. Let's say I want a topic about submitting expense, or topic, let's call it expense claim. Okay. The topic can have different triggers. What are the keywords which tell my agent that I want to talk about this thing? So if someone says, I want to submit my my expenses, or last week, the travel expense. So these are the triggers that branch to this topic. And within that, you can have all your questions and you can have actions and so on. Knowledge is a knowledge source. That's fine. Actions are the tools that we create, that we give to our agent to do certain actions. So as I said, if I want my agent to be able to send me an email or reply to the user, we need to create an action. Okay. Channels are, once you have built your agent and you're happy with that, where do you want to publish your agent to? So channels can be things like, I want to publish my agent to Teams, or I want to embed my agent in my public website, or use it in SharePoint. You can also use things like WhatsApp and other channels. You will see also some analytics for the agent. So these will be how many times the agent has been queried, number of queries, response, these kind of things, and performance. Okay. So create an agent. As I said, we navigate to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Make sure that you select the environment you want to work on. As I said, you can either start. There are three ways of creating an agent. You can start by creating a blank agent, or you can describe the agent you want, or you can pick from the templates, right? So describing the agent, just type in a natural language what you want your agent to do, and then the agent will be scaffolded for you or created for you. Obviously, you still need to do some work on that. It's not going to be the final version, but the heavy lifting will be done for you. Okay. Or you can create from start with the blank agent and you define everything. The templates, we're gonna have a look at the templates very shortly. Once you define your agent or create whether a blank agent or from by describing the agent, this is the place where you'll be spending most of your time. This is the interface where you'll be adding the knowledge, testing your agent, making sure that it does what it's supposed to do, refining the agent until you're happy with it and you can publish it, right? If you look on the top, we have different tabs. So this is the overview of your agent. Here you can change the icon of the agent, name and description. You can click edit here. This is the model that the agent is using to understand your the interaction with the agent. So you can use GPT 4.1, which is, I think, I don't think it's the default anymore, but you can use different models and see how your agent behaves. Most of the time, you don't need to change this. Stick to the default unless you are doing some heavy processing or really custom something, I would say advanced. Yeah, where you have to experiment with different agents. Okay. Now you can have different triggers. If you want your agent to be triggered by other Power Automate or other things, you can define the triggers here. You can also have at a high level some instructions to the agent. You can say by, hey, I want you to be very user friendly, always chatting in a human way. Don't give any link to the information where you to the source where you found the information and so on. So you can have the instructions here for the agent. You can also tell the agent, act as this. This is your role, and this is what you'll be doing. So you refine the agent behavior. And again, this may seem very simple. It's free text where you type what you want your agent to do. But if you look back 4 or 5 years, it would have taken teams of multiple developers months to refine the behavior of agents and chatbots, right? Now, on the top, we have the overview of the agent. We've covered that. Knowledge, this is where you add different knowledge sources. We're going to look at that in a minute. Tools are the tools that the agent can use. As I said, it can send email or create entries in a system or something like that. Agents can talk to each other, so you can pass from one agent to the other. Let's say you're talking here about submitting leave requests, and then at some point you ask about what's the policy of I don't know, what's the dress code in this organization. Now we have another agent which does that. There is possibility of linking agents together. Topics, we're gonna look at that. There are different types of topics, and you can see the activity. This is the equivalent of the run history for Power Automate. You can see every time the agent was triggered and so on. Now on the right side, you have the test panel. This is where you can, every time you make a change, test your agent, see if it does what you are expecting it to do, and so on, until you're happy with it. Or the Copilot Studio environment has an autosave feature, so most of the changes you'll be good with. Just make the change and close that. But once you're happy with it, or while you're testing it, make sure that you publish, especially when you change the knowledge source and change the instructions, publish the agent so you are testing on the latest version, right? We're going to cover channels in a minute. These are places where you can push your agent and deploy them. Okay, the fun part, finally. Right. Okay, so we will look at how we can create an agent. So to get started, as I said, we go to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. This is the landing page. We have home, where you can create flow, create agents. You can see the things that you've been working on. You have agents, you have flows, different tools. As I said, the very first thing we need to do is to make sure that we are in the right environment. So here I have multiple environments. We have default, we have dev US, we have demo, we have prod US, and so on. I think we've seen how we can create new environments, but let me show you how we can do that. If you go to Power Apps Admin Center, so if you go to Power Platform Admin Center, sorry, not Power Apps, Power Platform Admin Center, you will see on the left side that we have Manage, and then under this you have Environments. This is where you can create your environments and define the type of the environment, the geolocation, and so on. So if I want to create a new environment, this is the first thing we need to look at is what's the type of the environment. For you, probably go with developer or trial. This way you won't have to pay anything for the during the development phase. Region, very important, especially if your organization has some sensitive data or needs to adhere to certain compliance or regulation. If you want GDPR enforced, or if you're in the US, make sure that you create the environment in the right place, and then just the environment name. And they keep changing this bit here, but this is how you create environments. Okay. Now let's say I'm going to switch to the dev US environment, and I want to create my first agent. So create an agent. The experience keeps changing with creating agents. For this one, it is creating from blank, as I can see. But if I go to, forget about this. If I go to agents and this is the interface I want to use, I can describe the agent I want. So create me an agent which does X, Y, Z, and then the system will draft an agent for me. Or I can start with a blank agent. So I define everything. I set my knowledge source, the topics, and so on. Or if you scroll all the way to the end, you have start with the agent template. So these are predefined templates that you can pick from. I want an agent which deals with benefits or citizen services and so on. So you can select one of those templates and start with. But let's create an agent, a blank agent, and start from scratch. See, okay, create agent from template. Okay, fair enough. So here, it's still loading, it's covered in certain things. Let me get some icons and content that we're going to be using for our agent. If I can type that correctly. Okay, I'm going to go with this yellow guy. I'm just downloading the icon for the sake of this demo while it's preparing the agent for me. Okay. Now it's ready. First thing I can do is probably I set my agent name, description, so people know what the agent does or what to expect from the agent. Optionally, an icon. So if I go edit, I'm gonna say ask or HR AI helper. Okay, just something random. I want to change the icon for my agent. I want to use this one, and description is use this agent. Where is it? Sorry, use this agent for any HR related queries. Okay, looks good to me. Now, as I said, this is the model. By default, it's default into GPT-5. I wouldn't suggest you use anything which is in preview. So the available models you have at the moment are 4.1 and 5. If you want to really push things, you can enable additional additional models like the Anthropic Claude models and so on. Now, instructions is place where you tell your agent how to behave. Act as the HR customer, the HR rep, and try to answer the questions in a professional and short way, so it doesn't tell a lot of things. Do not share the citations or location where the information was found. I'm going to show you how this will behave before we put the instructions, and you can see the difference. So I'm going to copy this somewhere else. Knowledge, this is where you add your knowledge. We're going to cover that in a minute, tools, and so on. First thing we need to do, if you are building agents for your organizations, you want to look at the settings and make sure that your agent is not going to the external domain and getting information from the web. For Copilot Studio agents, if you are asking questions and if you have not changed those settings and you allow the information, use information from the web, this is on by default. If you allow this and you ask your Copilot Studio agent a question for which it doesn't have the information, it will query Microsoft Bing. I don't know about you, but no. It depends. Maybe sometimes you may want to use that if you are creating, let's say, an agent which helps. For example, you receive an email from a customer and you want to research that company and get some information about that company. Maybe it's a good idea to use Bing web search. But what I do is that most of the time I go and turn this off, so I know that my agent is only looking at the information I'm providing it. Okay. So I have here a site. I've created something for this demo. HR SharePoint site. If I look at the site content, we have a few things. We have some policies and procedures. Okay, these are just random policies and procedures that HR has provided. Things like equal employment opportunity, data protection, GDPR, social media, and so on. These are Word documents with a lot of information within. As you may know, organizations create a lot of content, especially HR, but people do not read those policies, and I don't blame them for that. So what we're going to do for this demo is that we will create an agent which uses this SharePoint site to answer anything about those policies, right? So people can come here and they can ask about attendance and punctuality policy or something like remote work and things like that. The agent will look at the data and comes back with the answer. So if I go back to where is my presentation? Right. So configuring generative AI. Yeah. So the next is linking the data source, right? So let's go back to the agent. This is my agent. We have on the right side the test your agent panel. Now, the most important part is to provide or feed your agent certain knowledge. Okay. So
Samir, can I quickly jump in? Can we have a quick raise of hands if anyone is from HR here? Anyone from HR? A quick raise of hands or a chat? Maybe you could put it on the. Oh, yeah, we've got one. Awesome. Lovely. He's going to love this. Okay, Johnny, thank you.
So as I said, knowledge, this is, oh, we have another person. Ayo. Okay, cool. That's good. So when it comes to adding a knowledge source to your agent, you click add knowledge, and then you have some data sources here. So these are, we need to talk about these briefly before we jump in. So first, you can link a public website that is a URL where you think you have some good information that you want to use there from that public website, or maybe your organization website. You can use that as a link here. You have a SharePoint location. If you are using SharePoint, standard SharePoint site, team site, OneDrive, you can use these here. And you have some advanced data sources, like if you want to use data from Azure SQL, Dataverse, Azure AI Search, and so on. Now, we need to think about security and how the data will be retrieved from different data sources. Obviously, if you are linking a public website, any information in that public website will be available and use it as data to answer the queries, right? If you are using SharePoint, Dataverse, Azure SQL, Azure AI Search, Dynamics, these environments require authentication. And usually it's based on your role and the information that you have access to, that the agent is able to reply or come back to you with the information. For example, you have a finance SharePoint site that you want to use as knowledge base here, but within that finance website, you have one library for the finance templates and forms, things like expense claim and things like that. That's one thing. And you have another document library, which is private and has different permission, and that's the financial forecast or financial report for that company. If you don't have access to that and you query Copilot about any information to do with the financial report or forecast, Copilot will say, I don't have any information about it. Okay, so any environment which requires authentication, you have to think about what was the access mechanism, right? Because Copilot will not be indexing and looking at your data. It will be using the different search mechanisms that we have available in these systems and queries to get the information. But it will run within, it will run as the logged in user and with the user credentials. So based on what you have access to. You can also, if you have files, you can also upload the files here and you use them as knowledge source for your agent. But for this example, I'm going to use SharePoint, okay? And I'm going to say I want to use HR365 as a knowledge for my agent, okay? For some reason, it says the item was not found in your SharePoint or OneDrive, but I'm going to say, okay, I know it exists, add it anyway. This is a glitch I've seen for the last couple of weeks, but I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to add this to my agent, okay? It may take a couple of seconds to look at the source and index it until the status becomes ready. Now we know that this knowledge is ready for my agent to use, okay? I'm not going to create immediately. Tools, you can create a tool here. As I said, tools are things like call a Power Automate, connect to an API, send an email, post a message on Teams. You can do, these are actions that, or you can look at those as tools that the agent can use whenever it needs. Say, after this conversation, if the agent is not able to answer, I want to send an email to a person or shared mailbox. So these are things that you can create and add to your agent, which elevate the capabilities of the agent. So yeah. You can also, as I said, link agent between them. These are the topics that I briefly mentioned earlier, but Elizabeth, sorry.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me, Samir?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Wonderful session and explanation so far. Thank you. So I'm curious. I work in the security department in my organization, and we are Microsoft reliant, right? In terms of Microsoft Intune for managing devices. We also use Entra ID. We also use, just think about the entire
Yeah.
Microsoft suite, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. So I'm trying to see how I can integrate this in my organization. So for instance, with respect to the agent getting information, right? So is it something I can, deploy in my organization and just anybody can, or I'm trying to understand how I can deploy this. And perhaps we have a new hire who wants to learn something about security from one of our policies, right? And maybe they want to find out, is this something I can deploy? And I'm wondering how they can as well search for that information after I have, deployed this and have my agent running. So can I have it tenant wide, the entire organization, where everybody goes to search for whatsoever information they want to search for, be it something from any policy at all in the organization? Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. So this is a good example. First question, in terms of the knowledge source, you have different knowledge sources that you can use. You can use here. So you can use Databricks, you can use SharePoint, you can upload your files. But obviously, your policies and procedures may change over time. So ideally, let's say you have a SharePoint site for all the policies and information you want to use within your organization. You put the files in a SharePoint site and you link your SharePoint site to the agent. If you want this agent to be used as kind of the chatbot or agent that anyone will reach out to if they have any question related to security, maybe it's a good idea to make that SharePoint site publicly available. When I say public, it's public within your organization, not internal facing. So you link the SharePoint site to the agent. People can come here and ask any question about the information found in that site. Hopefully my agent is ready. I'm going to show you that in a minute. The second question is about deploying. You can deploy the agent. Of course, you can deploy it to the entire organization. Maybe you can use your intranet to embed the agent, or you can have it available to your employees within Teams. So you can deploy it within Teams, and it can be, I don't know if I have an agent here available, but let's see. You can pin one of your agents here if you want. You can use Teams Admin Center to force pushing the agent within Teams, so people can use that. Where is it? Where is it? I don't think it's in this tenant. Yeah, we're gonna see how you can push the agent within Teams, but of course you can push it to the entire organization.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
all right, thank you very much. I would really want to know how that can be done. If there's a step-by-step process, maybe a
Yes.
guide or something, I would appreciate
We're gonna
it.
see
So
we're gonna see
I'll
it now
try.
in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think,
thank you.
and was there another question where you asked Elizabeth with regard to if any employee could deploy it? Was that a question that you asked as well?
So not them deploying it. So I deploy it, but they can actually go to, maybe the knowledge agent appears somehow for every organization, sorry, for every employee, right? Like Samir said, on Teams. So everybody opens their Teams and they see the knowledge agent, and you can ask anything with respect to our policies or find out anything about security because we
Okay,
have
yeah.
documentations, right? That's what I'm trying to ask. How do I, as an admin, do this? And then how do the people access it tenant wide? So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So for you to be able to create a Copilot agent, you can do that easily. As I said, either in the default domain or specific environment, you create the agent. Then I'm gonna show you this in a minute. When it comes to channels and publishing the agent, you can publish the agent to different platforms. We're gonna have a look at that in a second. The third step is how you can push the agent to everyone. So that instead of sending them email or making them aware of the existence, maybe you want to pin the agent in Teams or in your intranet, for example. For that, you need to go to the Teams Admin Center, and you can have a policy which pushes the agents and say, I want this agent to be pinned in the left navigation for all my employees or people within certain role or things like that. So you can have it linked here. We're gonna see that in a minute. Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem. So with this agent, I've used this knowledge source HR365, and I know we have some policies and procedures there. So let me ask a question here. I'm just testing the agent on this test panel. So say, what is the dress code here? What can I wear within the office? So while I'm testing that, I can see that my agent is start with the greeting topic, and then it looks at this the knowledge source. The first source it has looked at is the SharePoint site. Okay, it looks started with the top level, and then it goes through different policies, different files, and it comes back with this answer. Say, some dress code and personal appearance policy is this, blah blah blah, and then you can review the full policy here, and then it gives you a link to where it found the information. So as you can see on the bottom left of the page, you have policy number 17.docx. So this is the place where the agent actually found the information. And if you want to learn more, you can click on the on this document and get access to that policy. So this is just a simple example of how you can link a SharePoint site to an agent and then expose it through a chat window. So the users can ask things like, I don't know, I am traveling next week and would like to work remotely.
If you all do have any questions, just put it on the chat. We could ask that too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Janit, you got any questions? Ayo as well.
Not specifically at the moment. Actually, I missed some points because of a network disruption. I think I can have the recording as well later, right?
Yes, of course.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Perfect. So here I have, I ask about, I'm traveling next week and I want to work remote. As you can see, my question is not precise and I'm talking a lot. I'm saying a lot of things here in a natural language. So some people may ask questions like this. That's the beauty of the LLM. The agent is smart enough to understand how to answer these. But one very important thing, when the conversation started, if I look here, I can start a new test session. Where is that? Yeah, start a new test session. So this is how my agent start or open the conversation for me. Say, hey, hello, I am HR AI helper. How can I help you? So this is something I've not typed. I don't know where it got this from. So this is where, after the knowledge, probably we're not going to cover tools today because it's a bit advanced and agents. You have topics, right? And this is what we call a system topic, and this is the greeting topic. Okay, so this is how the conversation starts. Okay, if I click here, you see that you have certain triggers. Let's see. Are we on the custom? No, sorry, system conversation. Conversation starts. Hello, I'm this. How can I help you? So this is the default message. So this here is where you define the topics. If you want to change it, I mean, I'm fine with it. There's nothing wrong with this. But let's say you want to have your custom greetings. How can I help? I am your smart HR assistant. How can I help? Let's say I want to change this. Okay, save the topic. And then I can start a new conversation. You can see that now the agent greets people in a different way. Okay, so with topics, let me bring back the presentation. So configuring generative AI, we briefly spoke about that. It's mainly, when you talk generative AI, you have two things to remember, right? First, we need to turn off the access to the web domain or web knowledge, unless you really need that in your example. So for that, you go to settings, generative AI, you scroll all the way down under knowledge, and you should have this turned on by default. As I said, it's not something you have to do every time. It's really case by case. We have an agent which sometimes we get emails about someone querying about our products. We ask for name, email, phone number, and then company. When we get that email, first thing we do, this is a lead and potential client. First thing we do is we research that company. So we have created an agent which takes the company name, do a bit of research of it, and then send us a notification, say, hey, we got an important lead from this company, from this person, reach out to, or this is a very weak lead. I couldn't find any information about this company, be careful. So just sometimes you may need to use the data from the web, but most of the time when you are creating agents for your organization, you have to turn this off. The second part of using generative AI is to define your knowledge. Okay, and let me see if I have just before we close on the generative AI, a few things I wanted to cover here from the Microsoft official training content is so we've seen this knowledge. You add this screenshot is outdated, so you add knowledge and you have different data source. You have things like public website, SharePoint, Dataverse, and so on. File upload. There are some limitations with file upload. You're gonna see them in a minute. So these are the different sources, and Microsoft keeps adding new data source. So you can in the future you'll be able to connect your agent to additional data source, maybe Oracle, maybe Amazon, I don't know, other data source. If there is no publicly no available connector for Copilot or your agent to connect to certain data source, you can still use Power Automate and create your integration with API and things like that. But this is a little bit advanced. So some limitations you need to be aware of is that if you have a URL which redirects to another URL, this will not be accepted. Okay, you have to use the final or the target URL. The second thing is that if you have a URL which requires authentication, let's say a website or a page which requires username and password, this also cannot be used as data source. It's a shame, but at the moment, URLs can only have two levels of depth. So if you look at this URL, you have the domain and the /retail/stores. This is okay, but if you have a long URL like this, where you have /retail/stores/US, this will not be accepted. For some reason, Copilot Studio is still not able to look at URLs with longer, more than 2 levels depth, right? There is a way of overcoming this is by using what's called the shorten URL. So if you take this URL and transform that to a short URL, you should be able to trick Copilot to index it. Now, when it comes to uploading documents, as I said, you can use websites, you can use different data sources, or you can just upload files here, right? So for uploading files, the file size, probably the big limitation is this one. File size cannot be over 512 meg, but to be honest, this is quite large, and you should be all right. The file type that you can use, I would say Office documents, PDFs. Obviously, you can't use images or videos. It's really Copilot Studio cannot extract any data from that. So stick to the common one, Office and PDF documents. Right. So I think that's all we need to cover about the generative AI. Now, topics. Probably that's the next thing we need to talk about. Right. So I briefly touched on topics. When it comes to topics, you have two types of topics. You have the system topics and you have the custom topics. So system topics you cannot delete. You can turn off if you don't want to use them, but you can kind of deactivate, but you cannot delete. So topics are things like the greetings. Hi, this is this agent. This is what I can do. Or things like, sorry, I don't understand. Say it again. So these are system topics that are used to orchestrate or organize that conversation. Now, custom topics are things that you can create for the sake of the specific agent you are building, right? So let's say I want a topic about complaint or another topic about leave request. So you create the topic, you define what the triggers are, say what are the keywords or the phrases that whenever I see them in the conversation, Copilot agent will know that I need to point to that topic, okay? For a topic, the first thing we need to do or to worry about is the trigger. What are the keywords or phrases that triggers the topic? Now, within the topic, what will happen? Is it just question answer, or do you want to have, is it just a conversation type of interaction, or do you want to have questions and then you get the response in the variables and you do certain things with them? And of course, do you use generative AI for that topic, or do you use a classic conversation? But again, most of the examples I've seen, you define the knowledge source, you turn off access to the external web content, and probably you play a little bit with those topics to create your own topic. Let's say I want in my conversation start topic, which is a system topic, okay, and this is on for now. So I want this to say, okay, hello, I'm this bot name, your smart HR assistant. How can I help you today? Instead of allowing the users to just type whatever they want, I want to ask a question here. Okay, I'm gonna say ask question, and here the question will be select one of the options. Okay, this is the question. The options will be leave request. Okay, I want another option for sorry. Leave request, another option for complaint. So sorry, this is the option. So these are the options I want to have. Complaints, leave request, I don't know, maybe whistle blow in. Okay, and something else. Resignation. Okay, so I've created a question here where I say select one of the options. I give 4 options. Automatically, the system will create me 4 branches and say if the option one, the answer to this question is complaint. Now I can have specific path here or specific process here. Say complaint. Let's say I want to send a message. Say I'm sorry about your experience. Please click here to fill complaint form. Okay, and we can give a URL here. Okay, so save. I'm just going to test this quickly. So this is one topic, which is a system topic, conversation start. But I wanted every time my agent start to have this interaction. Now, when the chat, if I restart the conversation or start a new session, says hello, I'm HR this. So this is the greeting message, and then just after that, it says select one of the options: complaint, leave request, whistleblowing, resignation. So if I click complaint, I get this response. So now you start managing the different topics and the different ways of interacting. But if you remember, we have spoken about the user experience earlier, and this way of interacting with the agent is not great. You want to keep the interaction and the user experience more natural and allow the users to describe what they want instead of pick the options and so on. Okay. So this is just to touch on the topics. Okay, we covered the generative AI. Sorry. I think I need to speed up a little bit to show you. Okay, add the knowledge base, deploy agents. Okay, so again, you're gonna keep testing and iterating to your agent by adding knowledge sources, removing knowledge source, maybe define the topics and so on. Once you're happy with your agent, you have the channels, and this is the part where you can deploy the agent and allow your users to access the agent from different places. So first you have the demo website. If you want to, this is just a place where you can share the link to the agent with other people during the test and development phase. And I think for this, we need to change the security and make sure that we don't require any authentication for this agent. Okay, I'm gonna go with no authentication. If you are planning to embed your agent in a public website, you will have some limitations. So if your agent is using SharePoint as a knowledge source or any internal system as a knowledge source, you will not be able to embed your agent in your public website, because in the public website, you don't have any authentication mechanism, right? This is for unauthenticated people. So the only data sources you will be able to use are things like public URL, or you upload your own content or your own files. So for this one, I went to the settings of the agent, security, and then turned off the authentication, which will create an error here that the knowledge will not be available anymore. But let me just try this. Okay, demo website. Let's say during the development phase, I want my colleagues to test before deploying it. I want them to test the agent. So you get a custom URL here. So you can copy this, and if you share this URL with the users, this is the interface they can see, and they can just test the agent in a web page. Okay, you can see that we have some errors here. The reason why we have this error is that we have set our agent to have no authentication while we are using a SharePoint, which is an internal environment as a knowledge source for our agent. Okay, this is normal. You're gonna have to go back and fix that. But let me change this quickly. Security, and we're gonna say this agent requires authentication, so it will run within our organization. That's fine. But if I want to deploy to other locations, let's say Teams, for example, as you asked it before, I want to deploy this agent to Teams. Get rid of the. So what will happen here is that Copilot Studio will create a small Teams app for you that you can add to a channel or deploy as a Teams app. If I add channel, I'm going to show you in a minute few real examples. So publish. Okay, we need to publish the agent first. Yeah, I think it's published, and let me check that quickly. You need to publish your agent. Okay. All right, publish. Also new program. Perfect. Okay, let me go back here. So you can edit the Teams app before publishing it, or you can go with the default. So for this one, it's going to be called the same as our Copilot agent, HR AI helper. If I want to see this in Teams, how this will look in Teams, you can click open in Teams, and this is what I get. Oops, sorry. Maybe I will open it in the web instead. That's easier. Okay. Okay, so if I open the chat, I get my agent here in Teams. I can pin the agent and make sure that it's always here. So this is for one single user, right? Now, if you wanted Elizabeth to do the same thing for all your users, you have to do it through the Teams Admin Center, right? Under, what is that? Admin.cloud.microsoft.com, you go to Teams. There will be a section for Teams under apps, I think policies, called policies or Teams policies, can't remember. But the same interaction will happen here with the agent, same experience as your testing environment. Hey, how can I help you today? What is the social media policy? Or I want to share a promotion on Twitter. If it will now that Twitter is X now. Let's see. Okay, so looking at the document authorization, confidentiality, and so on. So it looked at the Logisam social media policy, and it came back with this response, right? You can do the same thing with your security policies and procedure. Create an agent like this, deploy it, and then make sure that the agent, you can change the icon, change the name, of course, and pin that agent to all your employees. I need to speed up a little bit. You can deploy the agent within SharePoint. You select which website or which SharePoint site you want to embed the agent within. So once you do that, for SharePoint site, if you have an agent available, if I go, for example, to policies and procedures, I will see this Copilot agent icon on the top. It's not really obvious. Probably it would have been better to show it somewhere else, but you get the same experience embedded within SharePoint. And of course, you can use your agent in different places: Facebook, WhatsApp, Slack, Telegram, and so on. So these are different channels where you can publish your agent. But in a nutshell, you make sure that you are in the right environment. Start by creating your agent either from a template, from scratch, or by describing it. You define the agent name, description, icon. You give it some instructions. If you want to use internal content or internal knowledge, you create your you link your knowledge sources here. Make sure to turn off the web search if you want to, and then you can start testing, iterating, and so on that content. Now, what I wanted to show you before I move to the next section, deployment. Okay, we looked at that. That's absolutely fine. Okay. How are we doing on time, Zafar? We have 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes, yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna try to be quick on that. So we have some examples where we have embedded created Copilot agents and embedded them in certain solutions. I will show you those quickly. So we have two solutions. Sorry, Zafar. Go on.
Sorry, yeah, Elizabeth has raised her hand. You wanna do it now or
Go on, Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth, please.
Okay, so I'm trying to follow along with my organization account right now. So I'm trying to see how I can locate the agents, but I can't really find it.
Okay, Elizabeth, can we connect again after this session?
Sure, I'll be very
So that
happy
we don't-
to.
Sure,
Yeah.
no worries. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Absolutely,
so much.
no problem.
So how do I get across to you?
I'll reach out to you, don't worry. I like
Okay,
people
thank
like you all.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so just to set the context, we have two applications here. One is HR365, which is an HR solution. We have created, this is full and complete HR solution from employees database to leave requests, form engine, org chart, everything. But we have created some agents, and we have also integrated the agents within the app. The idea is that to improve productivity, we don't want people to keep switching between tabs and switching between Teams and Outlook and the app, and then go to the agents and so on. So once we create an app, the app is available within Teams, and you can access the app either from Teams directly, or if you are using the app on the browser, you have access to the agents as well within the app. You don't need to have different tabs open for that. Now, we have created two specific agents. One is exactly the same as what I have demoed, is the policies and procedures. If people want to ask anything about the organization policies and procedures, they can ask the HR bot, and they get information about things like work from home, social media, dress code, these kind of things. Very simple. Now, when they say very simple, we tried to make it even simpler for HR by saying policies and procedures, even though they don't change very frequently, but they may change over time. So for HR to be able to update the content or include new policies and procedures, we allowed them to, this is the HR interface, right? You have different modules. You have the hiring module, the employees, leave requests. But if I go and look at Ask HR, on the right side, you can see that it says like, hey, this is HR AI automated virtual assistant. This smart bot makes HR support accessible anytime. The bot uses content from the following SharePoint location, which means that if you want to enrich or tailor the knowledge, you can add content here just by drag and drop content or modifying or removing anything from this library. The bot will be able to use that knowledge. So within the app, if I switch as if I go as a normal user, okay. So as a normal user, this is my interface. I can see the number of leave days I have available, my leave request, org chart, but I can ask anything about HR from this app. And we have also a mobile version of the app where people can ask things about the the HR policies and procedure. So again, what is so what you are seeing here is a Power App application with a Copilot agent embedded within the Power App application. And if I switch to, as you can see, this is all the details about whistleblowing. If I switch to the Teams app, where is that? It's this one, I think. No, it's not this. That's not the right one. The same thing is available within what is it? Within Teams. Yeah, but the idea is that to improve productivity, we don't want people to keep switching between the different environments. The second agent that we are using for within this app is the hiring agent, of course. So let's say you are hiring for a new role within your organization, and you want to the help of Copilot to draft and create the job description. Let's say we want a software developer, or maybe I'm going to go with project manager. For the finance team, this project manager will be based at the main headquarters. It's going to be full-time. We want senior project manager, and work type is going to be hybrid. Hiring manager, it's going to be Alicia. So recruiter agency, we're going to put Hayes, and we're going to say the listing for this role is going to be from today till the end of the month. Salary is going to be between 25,000 and 35,000 based on experience. Okay, so this is a simple form. I've put few words here just to define my job. Now I have two options. I can either generate the job description with AI or edit the job description manually. Now, if I click generate job description with AI, what will happen is that we are calling the Power Automate, which calls another Copilot agent and passes all these details. As you can see, probably we put 10 words here, literally, that's all I have typed. And it will ask it to create me a job description for this role. The finance department is seeking senior project manager to lead at the main headquarters. This will be a hybrid work model, key responsibilities. It's smart enough to know that for project manager, we need lead and planning execution. We need to have to provide strategic direction. These are the key responsibilities, manage stakeholders, monitor project progress, and so on. So it really took me 10 words to get this, this first draft. Let's say I don't want to disclose the salary. I will say the salary is based on experience. I would put attractive salary based on experience. Now I can save my job, right? So literally it took me a minute or two to create the first draft for my my hiring. Now I have my project manager role here, and we have another agent which receives the CVs and then compare the CVs with the job requirements, and then start sorting the CVs based on my best match and so on. Okay, so this is one example where we have integrated the Copilot agent, but in this case, it's not through a chat window. We are not chatting with an agent. We are using Power Automate to pass certain information. So the users are not seeing anything, but there is some intelligence behind this app, and we are orchestrating Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot to improve the time and improve the HR team, I would say, time. So the other example is similar to the HR Ask Copilot agent. This is a ticketing system, help desk solution built on Power Apps. Again, you have two interfaces. You have the IT department interface, where you can look at the tickets that have been submitted by your employees. Can look at the new tickets, see that we have this one, Unzir Hussein. He said, my team is just loading all day. So slow. Looks like he has some performance issue with Teams. We can have files here, screenshots. If there are any notes, you can see them here. Timeline are any changes that have been made to this ticket. Let's say, okay, this is something I'm happy to deal with, so I'm gonna assign it to myself, and I will put this ticket on. Let's say this is work in progress. Now, I said I'm gonna be working on this, but I don't know where to start. So as an IT person, I receive a ticket like this, someone saying that it's here on the top. So what we have done with this app is that we have created a component for Power Apps, which embeds a Copilot agent that we have already created. So for those who want to know what's happening behind the scene, is that we have a component in Power Apps, which is this. This is our own custom component in which we have embedded the fixed chatbot. Okay, basically, if I want to work again as an IT person, I got this ticket and I want some help. How can I fix it? So I'm gonna call the Copilot agent. You see that the window will appear here, and they will say performance issues with Teams. What can be the cause? Okay, just instead of me going and searching on Microsoft Learn portals and on Google, what are the reasons why Teams can be slow? What can I do about it? I'm just gonna say, okay, right from within the app. I'm not going anywhere else. So in terms of keeping the users focused and the productivity, this is great. So cause of performance issues within in Microsoft Teams, either network condition, device limitation, media quality, blah blah blah. Troubleshooting, user Teams admin center. Okay, it tells me a couple of things. I want to know more about it. Now I can click the link, and this takes me straight to the monitor and troubleshooting Teams meetings. So I have the entire Microsoft article here to help me do that. So this, in theory, should help the IT team to quickly resolve the tickets. But also, if we switch to the end user interface, because within this app, we have two interfaces. We have the end users and we have the IT team. For the end users, if they want to submit a new ticket, let's say something to do with the hardware problem, you will see that we get another window here for Copilot trying to help them. The idea is that we want the users to send less repetitive requests and try to get self-service help directly and try to find how they can resolve their issue without contacting IT. I know I can keep going on and on and on, but I think I need to stop. Otherwise, Safar is going to get mad at me.
I'd love to, right? Keep learning a lot every time, and I'm sure everyone does as well. So thank you, Samir. I
Thank you
think this
so
was a
much.
great session. Well, to be honest, the entire session is an 8-hour session. But well,
We needed
we
more
can't.
than that. Yeah, I had to
Yes,
rush.
we can't.
But
we,
thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot.
so we can't basically afford to run the full 8-hour session. So we thought we'll give you something or the other as well. I am gonna quickly show you also everyone who's registered, you will be receiving okay, number one, the redemption code, which is in your chat, the last link that I sent. When you click on that, you need a Microsoft Learn account. You come in here and you will be able to redeem a badge out there, right? So I'll copy the URL and basically come in to this and you'll get on a redeem your code. When you redeem your code, you get a badge out here and it'll be added to your portal, right? That's number one. The other thing, if you don't know how to, the moment you click on that redeem, you should be able to sign in or sign up for it. Number two, okay, there you go. For those who've attended the previous sessions, you would have already got access to SkillSpot and email, which basically gives you step by step the process. Those who are attending for the first time, you will get an email as well on the process to sign up into this platform, the LMS. This is a free platform given by Microsoft until the end of June, so take maximum use out of it. So every session that we ran recently, they're all here for the last 2 weeks. And for educators, we've got a program that we run, Tips and Trick Tuesdays. So those sessions are here as well, and all the other courses. And for those who are looking for an internal LMS for learning across all the Microsoft 365 apps, we've got our subscription application here, which basically gives you access to all the Microsoft 365 apps. So this, whether you're from IT or the business user, owner, or decision maker, this would be an ideal platform for you all, because with everything changing, we keep updating this as fast as possible. So we look at it, the Copilot for M365 apps, it's very bite-sized kind of programs that you have. And at the end of each section, you can do a quiz. At the end of the module, you can do an exam and earn a certificate as well. For each module, you'll get a certificate each. And these are all Microsoft Learn accredited courses, and we are a Microsoft authorized training partner as well. The best part about this is at the end of each quiz section, you could do a quiz. It's gamified. The moment you answer it wrong, all you need to do is click here. It'll take you to the video that'll teach you the right answer. And the best part is you do have closed captions here.
really common use case for generative AI tools like Copilot
So you
is
do
to
have
use
the
them for
closed
summarizing existing
captions,
content.
and it's very demo based kind of training, very short. And the best part is out here. It can be from any country. Yoruba, right? For Nigeria. The language that you speak, Yoruba. There you go. So yeah, so you got all the languages, whatever languages that you need. It basically translates here as well. It gives you also the step-by-step process. You also have other courses like all the Office 365 apps here. So these are all lessons. There's nothing additional that you pay. It's just a subscription. So we call it just one. Anyone in the UAE would understand. It's just one karak chai a day. So all you need is just one sacrifice, one cup of tea, and you get this platform. So you get all access to all these lessons, and then to the apps like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, from fundamental, intermediary, expert level. So these are all certificates that you can gain as well. So don't wait until your organization sponsors this for you, right? These are something that you can actually, it's affordable as well. So with its Teams, so we think we know Teams so much, but imagine there's so much of that we do not know out here. So if you're part of an organization, leadership, I mean, there's other courses, there are other programs, and we keep uploading the other contents as well. So there's cybersecurity and so on. And if you're part of a decision making, you would want to see, okay, if I do give it my my staff this platform, how do I see so you can actually get into the data insights, like who are your top learners, the awards they've achieved. You can even provide them with department-wise learning paths with access and see who's done what. And you can also have access to the top courses and so on and so forth. And it also gives you access to what the flight plan. So these are the courses that we are now working on development, and these are the latest courses that were uploaded as well. So who's got any questions could stay back. And Samir, you got time to have a quick? Samir is there? Probably Samir is okay. We do have.
Oh, sorry. No, I mean.
Okay. Yes. Questions?
Sure.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, please, Hassan.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I wanted to confirm when signing up for this session, we could um, get a voucher for the exam, and you've said
Yes.
nothing about that yet.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. So yeah, let me. That's what I was wondering. I missed out something, did I? Okay. So for those who have, so for the exam vouchers, what we need is you need to complete the three technical courses, which is Azure, AI, and security. So you need to get into these trainings, go through these documents, watch these videos. So you start and then complete this quiz. So once you complete it, the system, so this is, as I told you, this is owned by Microsoft. So they are going to be sending you, the moment you complete all three of this, within 7 to 10 working days, they will send you your free exam voucher.
Okay, that makes sense. Maybe I missed how do I get to this platform? Because this
Platform?
seems to be different from
So
Microsoft.
yeah, so Ayo, have you attended a session before with us, like within the last 2 weeks?
No, I've not
No.
been
So
joined in this
tonight
first.
you'll get access to this. So every day, any new individual who joins this course, we will send them out. So tonight you should get it along with the course completion certificate.
Okay, no problem then. Thank you very much.
Anything? Oh yeah, who else? Any other question? Elizabeth, I think you did have one.
Oh yeah, my question has been asked about the voucher
Oh, okay.
and also how to access the courses, because this is actually my first time attending a
Sure.
session. I just got the email today and I thought to sign up.
Sure. So,
Yeah.
please, you will receive the email on how to access the SkillSpot learning platform, and you will be
Okay.
able to see the courses out there.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And we do have another session happening tomorrow. Yes, please. And please do follow our social media pages so we keep updating of our new courses. Hassan, you got another question?
Yes. Yeah, good afternoon. My question
Yeah.
is, when we have deployed the AI agent that we developed from Microsoft's Copilot, can we deploy it to other platforms aside Microsoft-based platforms? Like maybe it can be used in Azure, or it can be used in AWS or Google's, or anybody using Google platforms, or it is only Microsoft based, organizational based.
Thank you so much, Hassan. I got your question. So the short answer is yes, you can deploy the agent anywhere. Doesn't have to be on a Microsoft platform. One of the channels that you can deploy the agent as is as an iframe. So you can have an iframe HTML code that you can embed anywhere. Now, there is something to consider before embedding your agent in other platforms is the data sources it's using, the knowledge source that it's using. If your agent requires something that something like SharePoint or Azure SQL or any other environment where the users need to be authenticated to access that data, you need to handle that separately. Obviously, if you are deploying the agent within Teams or within SharePoint, you are using single sign-on, so it's completely transparent for the user. They just ask question, they get the answer by magic, but it's not really magic. It's within authenticated environment. Now, if you want to take that agent and embed it as an iframe in another environment, just be careful about the authentication and the knowledge source that you are using. That's all. But a short answer is yes, you can.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I have another
Thank you.
question.
Yes.
I want to know, can a Copilot agent be made to run locally? Not just because the example you showed so far, they're running on the cloud, like connected to the internet. Can I create an agent, somewhat like cloud agent that could work with files that are on my PC, not files I necessarily used to train the agent? I don't know if my question makes
It
sense.
is clear, yes. Unfortunately, not right now. Copilot environment is entirely cloud-based. Cloud is a little bit advanced in this sense, where you can have agents running in your machine locally. Now, this yeah, probably this is the simpler, and there is another answer, but it's very complex. Uh, Short answer is that no, you can't talk to local files.
Okay, that makes sense, but I wouldn't mind if you don't mind. I also wouldn't mind the complicated. complicated answer.
So if you are, yeah, that's fine, no problem. If you are, of course, with if you're working with the SharePoint migration, you can have environments where some of the data is in the cloud and you still have some of your data in on-prem. There is what they call the on-prem gateway, which is a way of opening a tunnel from the cloud services to your on-prem environment. You may need a VM in place, and you can have an on-prem gateway where you allow access through Power Automate to your content locally. Now you still need to call from Copilot the Power Automate, make the query. Power Automate will go through the on-prem gateway to connect to your local data source and get the information. It is possible, but it requires a lot of architecture work to be done. Hopefully,
Okay,
Microsoft will simplify that at some point. Yeah, and catch up
that
with
makes
cloud.
sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't hate me, Zafar, for saying that.
Ah, please.
I know you hate anything which is not Copilot.
Well, so, guys, if you all want to connect with Samir as well, because Samir, basically, he does assist in consultancy and also helps in implementation, and he has some amazing solutions as well, which you all can plug and play right within your organization with a little bit of customization or no customization at all. So reach out to us. We are here to assist. If at all you all have any other requirements, and also if you are trying to get some trainings and certifications, right? Just want to let you all know that there is so much out of this, because I was just working on my Excel sheet with all the trainings that are available. These are the latest updated trainings. So, which means I'm sure there's a lot that we do not know, right? So, when you look at the AI courses, right, from BizApps to Modern Work to Azure to AI and data, right? These are all different courses that are available. So you don't need to learn everything, but based on your job, we could always advise you or support you or guide you on what certifications will best fit you all. I mean, if you don't train or don't skill yourself up now, I think there's a lot that's in ahead that's gonna be coming up, and there's a lot of catch up to be done. So future is bright. I'm sure there's an opportunity for all of you, and we are here to assist as a training partner, as a solutions partner, and as a guiding, Microsoft's advocate. So whether it's security to any of those, I think there are some new updates on the security front as well. So yep, these are the security courses and some power platforms and so on. So want to go deep dive into these trainings, do let us know. And please do, I am going to share with you our feedback form as well. Would really appreciate if you all can provide us with the uh, there you go. Please do provide us with your valuable feedback as well. And I have a question. Is an HR AI helper considered a prompt design? Did we answer that from Paulo? From Paul?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you did. Sorry.
Yes,
Probably
yes,
missed
yes.
it.
So prompt design, I said not exactly, but we could have achieved the same thing as a prompt design. So because remember, when we looked at how to create an agent, you could start from blank, or you could describe what you want your agent to do, and another agent will create a new agent for you. It's
Okay.
crazy.
How many of you have designed agents or probably created agents in your organization? Can we see a raise of hands? Nice, Hassan. What is it, probably? What kind of agent have you created?
Okay, yeah. I created an agent. This is just it's a custom chatbot. So
Mm.
what the agent does is that it answers all the questions only related to my organization. So that's what it
Mm.
does. So I
Okay.
deploy it on my organization.
Well done, congrats. So I think we've short over time, but thank you. It was really great. And team, I believe the team has sent you all an email as well. We would love to have your testimonials and your feedback through a video because basically this AI credential campaign is a campaign that's run by most of the training partners and getting your feedback or providing with Microsoft with video testimonials from your end helps us to be achieve a credential from Microsoft, and we might even be the best training partner in this region for conducting this campaign as well, which will help us to run more sessions like this free of charge for you all. So it would be really helpful if you could do that and respond to that email as well, which would have been sent by our team. And yes, Ayo.
Okay. After I filled the form to join the session, and even now, I did not get an email then, and I haven't gotten one now. So I do not know if it's something on my end or on the team's end.
No, so email with regard to, sorry.
Both confirmation, when I filled the form for this session, I
Okay.
know ordinarily I should get a confirmation email. I
Yes.
did not get that. It was a friend who sent me this the link to the session. A friend who is also here, being Elizabeth.
Okay.
So she was
I think, okay. So could you just check your junk email as well? Because we do send an email probably as soon as you register within a couple of hours. Then we send you a reminder email, then a starting now email. We fill
I didn't get
your email inbox. So let me
get
just double check. I'm gonna check that as well and get back to you. Any other issues?
yeah. So if somehow I was able to get the badges, right, which show that
Yeah.
my Microsoft account is okay with the same email address. But then
Okay.
I didn't get an email from you, and which means when you send out the email later in the day for the platform for the Azure courses, I would not be able to do
You
that.
will
So
not be able to get it. So I'm
yeah,
gonna check your email address and confirm. So you registered. Okay.
the Dave Ayo, see there,
There is. What's your full name?
David Olujobi.
Olanrewaju?
No, David Olujobi. I just
David.
sent an email to the chat box now.
Oh, the Dave Ayo.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check the Dave Ayo. I think your registration has not come through because I'm just checking the full list. Would you mind registering again? So tomorrow we're having the developer session, which I showed as well, GitHub Copilot. If that's something that you're interested, would you be able to register for that? And let me check on it. But anyway, we've taken note of your email address and we'll send you the the learning platform email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So anyone who's, you all can share this with the others as well. I am going to probably share this. As member, I'm going to share this link with you all. Please do share it around with your colleagues so that they also will learn. They will not miss. Yeah, there you go. Sorry.